Hey everyone, I'm Purge and welcome to another video. This is going to be quite an unusual video from me. Never done this before. I thought I would give it a try, kind of on a whim, and see how it goes. If it does okay, then I'll probably make it a regular series. If it doesn't, I won't. Um, so yeah, this is going to be a video about anime, specifically what I'm watching, thoughts on the anime I'm watching, probably a bit of rambling, and for this first video, I'm going to talk a little bit about this site you can see here. Anilist, it's called as well. So a little bit of background before we begin, and I've never mentioned this before because why would I? Um, I've been watching anime on and off since the 90s when I was a kid, a young kid. I started with watching Dragon Ball Z, and I've been, again, watching it on and off ever since. I started to really lean into it at the beginning of last year, and that's when I discovered Analyst, this site. It's a anime and manga tracking site. Now, this is just the browser. This is just a site. I've just full screened it so it looks better on the video. But this is Analyst, a really, really nice um, site for tracking anime and manga. As you can see, it's got a really nice UI. I'll probably spend this first part of the video giving an overview of Analyst and how it works and what you can do with it, that kind of thing, and then I'll go into the actual anime stuff I'm watching and my thoughts and that kind of thing. Anyway, so firstly, you'll want to go to the site. It's analyst.co. The link will be in the description down below. I'll put the link to my account in the description, and you can obviously go from there. Up here will be a way to sign up, standard stuff, email address, username, password, and then you'll have an account. Now, this is obviously the dark mode of the site. It will be light. It will be light mode when you actually get here, but it's dazzling. It's all white, so you'll want to change that. And then the first thing we're going to do is go to the settings. So, first thing you can do on the profile right here is change the color of your profile text. Now, this will only be the color of your text right here. This one, you can unlock custom colors by donating. You don't have to, but you can. So I've got it on like blue. You can have all these colors here, and it'll change the text of the colors. It'll change the text of the colors. It'll change the color of the text on your profile, and anime lists and manga list. Here, site theme, light, dark, default, high contrast, lovely jubbly. I obviously have it on dark because let's face it, who would want to view any site ever um, in light mode now? Is all dark mode all the time. Lovely. You've got your about place, like to talk a little bit about yourself. I'll talk about this after when I go to the profile stuff, but you can put whatever you want here. You can use CSS here. You can use pictures, like videos, that kind of thing. Your profile picture, uh, drag and drop it, upload it. You have a profile picture. This is, if anybody wondering, this is the brand of sacrifice from Berserk. Probably one of the greatest anime and 100% one of the greatest mangas ever created. And you've got a banner picture, which will show on your profile. Anybody wondering? This is Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Again, a pretty good anime and a very good manga. So there's that. There's your time zone. I'm obviously in the UK, so for me it's London. And you can also restrict to allow only followers to message me. This is all the social aspects of it, which I'll get into after. Enable data cache. You'll probably want to leave that on. I've never turned it off. It's the default option. You go to account. Your username, email address. You can see it, but like I don't care. Like whatever. Username. Right there. Email address. You can set like change your password. Make your profile either public, semi-public, or private. As you can see here, everyone can view a profile list and activity. Everyone can view my profile list activity, but my activity won't appear on the global public feeds. There's a caveat to this, which I'll get to after when I go to the profile. And I don't know why I've done it this way, but maybe to stop spamming of the global feed, but we'll get to that. And then private, basically nobody can view anything, your profile lists or activity, only you. And extra security, just leave it enabled by default. And download your data, delete your account. Not going to want to do. Anime. Now this is kind of important. So you can actually have the titles of your anime and manga to be Rumaji. You can actually have it the Japanese. You can actually have it the Japanese name or the English name, which I've actually got because I'm a filthy casual. And or you can have it in the actual native names. I've got an English because that's what I prefer. You can have the Western order for names. I've got. Here's the activity merge time again. I'll go into this when we get to the profile, but I've got it set to 2 weeks. This essentially allows you to merge list activities together. So as you can see here, episode and chapter activity created within the time period will be merged together, e.g. watched episodes 10 to 12. I'll get into more of that when we look at the profile. Airing anime notifications is quick convenience. I have that on, and 18 plus content if you want to see spicy content on here if you're a person of culture. And I am, so I leave it on. Anyway, so here you can actually, one of the really cool things about Anilist is how customizable it is. You can actually change the point scale of your scoring system. I've got it because I'm kind of boring. I've got it straight up on a 10-point scoring system, but you don't have to. You can actually go with decimals, 5.5. You can go with stars. You can even do it with smileys, or you can actually go 100-point scoring. I've just left it on straight up 1 to 10-point system. The default order of your list, which is what you'll see as soon as you click on your anime or manga list, the default is scored. I just left it on there. We can have by title, last updated, last added. Splitting anime and manga list by format simply means that it'll let's say you do it for anime. All of your completed anime will be split into TV shows, movies, OVAs, and specials. I haven't done that, but if you want a bit more organization, you can. That's fine. And this is for custom lists. You can add custom lists to your overall anime list that's separate from the status list, which I'll get to when we get there. But again, you just simply put in the name there, save it, and you can add anime and manga to custom list. And then it's what you'll create activity for, like watching, planning, completed, drop, pause, repeating. I've left everything on. You can update your stats now. I'll explain that when I get to the stats portion. If you're hidden entries, you can unhide them, and then you can reset your scores, reset your list, delete your list, which you're not going to want to do. Notifications, I've got everything on. You'll get notifications up here when something happens. It'll be a little red dot with a number in it. And I've got it all on. Import lists, if you want to import from another tracker, and obviously this one is mentioning the biggest anime list, anime tracker called my anime list, and then there's like what apps you can actually integrate, use apps, certain apps with Anilist, um, and it'll tell you that you've given access to like the APIs. So if you've got like a mobile app Anilist, you sign into it, it'll be there. Developer just means that if you want to create an app, it gives you access to the API. So that's settings. Right. Next up, we'll go to profile. So the profile here, now obviously my name on here is like Odyssey. If I mentioned this before in like a video like probably years ago now, but even though obviously I'm known as Purge, I'm only known as Purge in like kind of RuneScape circles. Everywhere else I'm known as like I'm known as I'm like obviously famous internet guy. I'm known as I use Odyssey as my like kind of username for literally everything. I've been doing it for years and years. Fun fact, I did actually try to make my username on RuneScape when I first started playing RuneScape, what, 2001, 2002. I did actually try and put Odyssey as my RuneScape name, but it was taken. So I just thought of Purge, and the rest is history. So yeah, my name is Odyssey on here because I use it for everything outside of RuneScape. So this is my profile. You get a few stats. Obviously, it's showing like profile pic and my banner. You get a few stats here. The total anime that I have either completed, and like it includes your completed anime and the anime that you're currently watching. So my total at the moment is 268, and manga is 12. Now, obviously, I watch way more anime than I do um, manga. In fact, I only started reading for the manga for the first time ever last year. So there's that. Activity. So as you can see, you got your activity here. It gives list activities. So it says like watched episode 1 to 33, Beyblade G Revolution. I put something on my planning list. Watched episode 1 to 8 of like Bacano or Bacano as people call it. Every episode 1 to 11 of Undead Unluck, etc., etc. You can do text updates as well. So you can actually put like text in there. There's obviously like formatting options. You can do links, you can do pictures, videos, etc., whatever you want to do. I will say that if your account is public, everything that you put in here will go into the global feed, which I'll show you after. But they go into the global feed. If you put like a text status, like what do they call it? They call it a status update, like a status activity. List activities, even though you've got your account, you might have your account public. For a list activity to be included in the global feed, you have to at least have one, you have to make a comment on it. So time to wrap up Gen 1 of Beyblade. And then it goes into the global feed and then people can like it. This is one of the social aspects of the site, which I quite like. This particular post has gotten 78 likes, and this is actually where the activity merge time comes in as well. So let's say I've got my activity merge time set to 2 weeks. So let's say you watch episode 1 of Beyblade, and then a week later you watch episode 2. This one activity will get updated. So instead of saying watched episode 1 of Beyblade, it'll say watched episode 1 to 2 of Beyblade. They get merged together. And it'll work anything up to your activity merge time. So obviously, let's say for instance, I got my activity merge time set to 2 weeks. If I watched episode 1 of something and then watched episode 2 13 days later, for instance, those two activities will get merged into one. So instead of saying episode 1, it'll say episode 1 and 2. You can actually, I think the minimum merge time is 3 hours. I think the maximum merge time is always merge. So if you had it, like, let's say for instance you had it on 24 hours, if you watched episode 1 of something one day, and then the next day you watched episode 2 of something, it'll be 2 separate activities. It won't be merged. So if you like that, if you like to see what you've watched over time, leave it on kind of shorter. If you don't mind that and you like racking up the likes, because I know some people do, leave on a longer merge time. So there you go. This is your like profile over here about yourself. I've seen people with vastly more elaborate little profile pieces like right here. They look very good. You can format it the way you want. You can use pictures, videos, CSS to make it look very nice. Activity history is actually kind of interesting. So for each day you do at least one activity over here. For each day you do one activity over here, a little dot gets filled. And as you can see there, on the 30th of March, I get two activities. And that simply means on that day, I had 2 activities. So each one of these is one activity. So obviously, if you've got like a merge time, activities get merged. Even though I've seen like 8 episodes of Bakano, it's one activity. They've all been merged, so it'll be counted as one activity on the activity history. Now, interesting thing, and obviously these black ones right here, these ones that are not filled, are no activity. These different, and then they change color depending on how many activities you've got. So obviously these lighter ones here are 1 activity, 2, 3, 7, 4. These darker ones here are 14, 12, and this really light one here is 39. That's the day I put loads of anime on my planning list because I got recommended loads of anime. I can show you a bit of that actually when I get to the actual list. So that's that. That's the profile. Lovely. Might as well show like stats first. You get loads of stats right here, like distribution, format, release year, how many hours you've actually watched, like how many hours in the counts of like titles watched, anime by like watch year. So I watched 211 in 2023 and 47 so far in 2024. You can do it by like genres, tags, voice actor studios, and you can obviously do it for anime, manga as well. So there's that. Also, we can now go. You'll probably spend the most time in, maybe. This is the anime list, your anime list. So as you can see here, it's got what I'm watching right here. Everything I've completed. This goes a long way. Everything I've completed, and then so you've got like all anime here, and it gives you the anime count 659. You've got watching. So I just do watching. You've got completed. Just show you completed. Planning. There's a ton of stuff on planning. And these are actually default lists, all watching, completed, planning. These are all the default lists. These are called status lists. You'll have them no matter what. This list right here, this is recommended to me short 1 season standalone shows. This is actually a list I made myself because a couple of weeks ago, I went on the forums in Anilist. It has forums as well in Anilist, and asked for recommendations for short 1 season shows that don't have any associated OVAs or movies, and I actually got 54 recommendations, and I've been kind of slowly watching them. I'm down to like 48 now. So for instance, if I was to go to, or let's say I was to go to Beyblade, right? You can click on this thing here, and it's on watching. Obviously, the status is watching. That's the start date of when I started watching it. I'm on episode 33. Total rewatches none. You can actually obviously track your um, episode watching from here if you want to. Um, you could put it on your custom list or take it off. You can actually hide from status list. So let's say, for instance, you had it on planning or watching or completed, but you wanted it just on a custom list. You could put on a custom list, and then you could actually hide it from your status list, so it won't show up anywhere else but custom list. Also, if you want it completely private, so only you can see it no matter what, you can actually private the entry. So there's that. So this is actually my entire anime list of my scores. Obviously, I got it set by score. You can actually filter it by format. So if I wanted to filter it by movies, you can do that. And it'll respect what list you're on as well. So if I wanted to filter it in completed, that probably wasn't a good example, maybe planning. There you go, it filters all the films I got on planning. You can, obviously, the status, you can filter it by like genre, like country. You can sort it by score or like progress or last updated, which changes the order of like which they come in. Now the default is again scores, so everything that's at the top will be the highest scored. So I'll come back to that when I talk about what I'm actually watching. So anime list, manga list is obviously exactly the same as anime list. Mine's going to be considerably smaller. So there's that. You can add stuff to favorites. I did mention this in a profile, but you can add stuff to favorites. You can add like anime, manga characters. You can also add staff members as well, which I haven't done as of yet. Social aspect, you can see your followers, your following. Yeah, because of the social aspects in this, people can follow you on here, so they'll see your activity specifically. They can like them by, as I showed you, they can actually comment on them. Pretty good social aspects on this site. Yeah, like you can also like followers, your forum threads, your forum comments. Um, you can have your review, if I could say it, reviews here, which I haven't done any yet. And your submissions just mean anything, any sort of anime or manga you think is missing from the site, you can actually do a submission and try and actually get it included on the site. So there's that. Now, if I go back to home, so right here is another convenient way to actually get your progress. You can, let's say you watch like an episode of Beyblade again, you can click this plus button right here. Quick way of doing it. And obviously the activity will come up here. Or you can obviously click to see read a chapter of manga right here. You click that. Job done. This is actually my following feed. These are all the people that I'm following. And obviously your activities will come up here as well. So my activity has come up here. Like an hour ago, I watched episode 33 of Beyblade G Revolution. As you can see there, it's gotten 78 likes. Here, this one's got like 198 likes, and I've actually liked it. That's why it's actually red. So if I can, this person I'm following, watch episode 17 of City Hunter, I can like it, just like that, give me a little heart. Nice. These are all the people you're following. Now, if you can change your list to global. This is the list of quite literally everybody, every user on the site. And again, it works. This is a nice way to follow people, to see what other people are watching, to see if you want to follow anybody. I like that because Free Ren, because I'm going to watch Free Ren pretty soon. Bleach, classic, yeah, One Punch Man, why not? So let's go into Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, this is like the obviously specific page for the anime. What's really nice about this is that here it gives you all the relations of this anime. Like, so you got like sequels, you got other. It'll have side stories here. It'll have OVAs. It'll have like movies. It's really quite nice. You get all the info, like how many episodes it is, duration, like status, release date, etc., all like characters and the voice actors. Completed, planning, pause, current stats. Um, It's showing me in my like who am I following, have people I'm following. Obviously it show yourself as well. Have people I'm following, how many people's actually like sort of watching it, completed it, what score they gave it. They give you recommendations for like any anime that's similar. Obviously you got the tags, genres, all the info, all the info. And if you and let's say like you wanted to put this anime on watching or planning, you just click that, set it as planning, and then job done. So that's about it. And actually, I should say that the site, as long as you're on it, it refreshes every couple of minutes by itself, which is quite a nice feature. Oh yeah, the Dragon Ball manga. Yeah, we give that like Fairy Tail. Yeah, we give that like. So that is basically. I hope that wasn't too long. I've pretty much covered everything. I could say there's a browse as well where you can search anime by like tags, genre, like episode, year range, like anything you could possibly want. Good search by, and the forum is right here. Like there's forums, there's categories you can search as well. That's all good too. Anyway, I hope that give you a good overview of Analyst, and I hope if you watch anime or read manga or both, you actually use it because, in my opinion, and I've tried pretty much all of them at this point, in my opinion, it's quite literally the best anime tracker I've seen. It is. There's other ones. There's obviously my anime list, which is the biggest one. There's another one called Kitsu, but Analyst is the best one. So anyway, um, so here's this is basically what the video is all about. Just me going through one watching right now. So Bacano is first. 8 episodes into it. I'm actually watching it with my cousin. We both really like it. It's quite fun so far. The only thing that's weird about Bacano is the kind of unconventional way it tells the story. It's kind of non-chronological. It whips back and forth. So like it'll say 1930 and then go to 1932 and then go to 1931. You kind of have to piece story together because something you'll see something happening in the story and then it'll flip back to a character's past and then you go, oh, okay, so that's why the character's like that. Then it goes like kind of back and forth. Now because of that you'll probably find, like, let's face it, everybody does, you'll probably find that the first episode is really confusing. Is it confused me, it confused my cousin, it was really confusing, but as time goes on it gets really good. But the unconventional way they tell the story persists throughout the whole thing, I assume. I can't say for sure, obviously, because I'm only 8 episodes in, but it has been so far, so there's no reason to think it wouldn't still do that. But it's really good animation, really good characters, and I will say, and this might be even blasphemy, like some anime fans, but the English dub in this particular anime is actually really, really good. They've got the accents down really well because it's essentially set in 19. I say essentially, it is set in 1930s US, so they got the accents down really well. It's a really good one. But again, unconventional way of telling the story, but it's pretty interesting. Beyblade G Revolution. Now I started watching the original Beyblade, um, again months ago, out of pure nostalgia, because I watched the very first season of Beyblade, the original one, as a kid, and liked it, and I never saw anything past that. So what I did was I started watching that. Then I went on. If I actually search Beyblade. So I'm watching obviously G Revolution right now. I started by watching original Beyblade, pretty good. Then I watched V Force, which is the second season of the original Beyblade, and then I watched the movie, which takes place after the second season. It takes place after V Force, but it's not canon, so you don't actually have to technically watch it. But I did just for completeness. Now, when I say like sort of first, second, and this is like third season. Now, obviously after V Force came like G Revolution, and G Revolution is the last season in so-called Gen 1 of Beyblade, aka the plastic gen of Beyblade. The and the second gen of Beyblade, Gen 2, is the metal gen, and I've got some of the metal gen seasons already on planning right here because after I finished G Revolution, I'm gonna go on to the metal gen. I will say, I will say that for me, G Revolution has been the best season of the Gen 1 Beyblade season so far. It's actually been really good. It's been better than original Beyblade and way better than V Force. It's just been really good. It's essentially one big tournament arc. I do think Beyblade just works best as a tournament arc. It does. Anyway, Gintama. Now, this is going to be controversial. This is going to be controversial. Um, it really is because Gintama is really, really well liked by pretty much everybody. So I started watching it because the hype was there, and I started watching it expecting to really like it immediately, and I just kind of didn't. I found the comedy kind of random and kind of weird, and it wasn't grabbing my interest. And then people started saying, I started asking people about it, and they started saying, well, it starts off bad and then gets good. But I'm 19 episodes in to it, and I have to be honest, um, it's still not grabbing me, so I'm thinking about pausing it for now, putting it like on hold. We'll see. We'll see. I might power through and see if I actually like it even more. I don't know. Um, Undead Unluck is a really recent anime that actually finished airing this month, as in March. It's really, really good so far. It's really, really good. And to be honest, if I hadn't had stuff to do, I probably would have binged it and finished it by now. It's really, really good. Undead Unluck. I really like it. Um, well, I don't want to go too much into it, but essentially, this guy right here, as you can see, Andy, his name is, he can't die. Um, he Every time something happens to him, his body regenerates, and the girl, Fuka, um, every time somebody touches her skin, they get massive strokes of unluck. They get massive strokes of bad luck. I and it's and they're together for and they kind of meet and kind of stay together for a particular reason, which I won't say right now because it's pretty good, it's pretty well done, it's pretty impactful, and I gotta be honest, the story opens up much more than that, and the premise of the story is just really, really interesting. I'd highly recommend Undead Unluck. It's really good. And lastly, but not least, what I'm watching at the moment is the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically, not the original. Um, if I go, okay, technically this is stuff I got on planning, but this is it spelled like that? Hang on. Oh, it's got a star in between, hasn't it? Hang on. Okay, here you go. Here you go. It's this one. Um, that's technically the original season of Beyblade. This is actually technically season 0. Now, if I gather that, so season 0, 27 episodes long, is essentially nothing like the anime we all grew up with. It really doesn't have anything to do with the card game, and it's quite a bit darker than the actual season, technically like original Yu-Gi-Oh. But again, I watched it, didn't really like all that much because it just wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh remembered. So then I watched it just for completeness, and I went on to um, the actual Yu-Gi-Oh we remember. And yeah, it's fun. I'm 102 episodes in. It's fun. I like playing the card game anyway. Although I don't play the card game physically. I play the video game version of it. But it's a fun watch. Yu-Gi-Oh. I like the anime. It's again not going to win any awards. It's not going to blow anybody. It's not going to blow anybody away with its amazing story. But it's a fun shonen. I like it. So that's all I'm watching. I will kind of briefly mention a couple of standout anime for me from my completed before I wrap this up. So I gotta mention a couple of anime I give like sort of 9s and 10s to. So Hunter x Hunter doesn't really need an introduction. Everybody says that Hunter x Hunter, specifically the 2011 version, the remake, um, everybody says it's one of the greatest like shonen ever made, and they're absolutely right. It's great. I enjoyed every story arc. I thought all the characters were really interesting and had really quite believable arcs, character arcs as well. And I thought the powers were really, really interesting as well. And in fact, one of the characters from um, Hunter x Hunter, I did actually put on my favorite characters. So really, really good. If you're again watch anime, you haven't seen it, watch Hunter x Hunter. It's really good. Red Line is a film, and it's absolutely great. It's got amazing animation. It's a sci-fi about this interplanetary interstellar race, but it's so completely off the ball and over the top. It's a thrill ride the entire time you're watching it, and the animation is absolutely stunning. It's just great. Um, Give it a watch. And the main character JP probably has the biggest quiff I've ever seen in my life, which is great. Um, Silent Voice, absolutely amazing film that had like a real effect on me. It's about a guy who, when he's in middle school, I believe, he gets a girl in his class that's hearing impaired, and he bullies her. And then a few years later, he sees her again, and he tries to make amends. And that's all I'll say. It's really, really good. Um, Chainsaw Man, amazing. I loved it. The animation is amazing. The premise is really, really interesting as well. People can make pacts with demons, um, and they essentially give them powers. Is really, really good. The main character. Well, actually, I was going to say what happens to the main character, even though it happens in the first episode. I won't say anything because it is quite impactful. Really, really good though. And lastly, I mentioned Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. This anime was so popular that one of the songs in it became a meme, and it increased I heard it increased the player base of Cyberpunk the game by like something like 200, 300%. It's great. Again, brilliant animation, really, really good action, and really investable characters. Really liked it. So, anyway, that is my analyst overview and the first anime update. What am I watching video. I hope it was okay. I hope I didn't ramble. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope people like it and got something out of it. If you did get something out of it, please let me know in the comments. Give me a subscribe, that'd be lovely. Give me a like, that'd be lovely too. And any questions or queries, just put in the comments, I'll answer them. Okay, that's it. Until next time. Bye for now.